ain't got no will.
All right, hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Anthony's Theories with me, Anthony Theory. Thanks for your time. Let's get right into it because I want to talk about my theory on how to determine who is the GOAT of the NFL. And in this case, we're going to be talking about Joe Montana versus Tom Brady, the two best quarterbacks. Tom Brady, Joe Montana, the two most decorated quarterbacks in NFL history. So how could you separate these two great players? Let me break down the case for Joe Montana and my theory on why he is the GOAT, the greatest quarterback to ever play in the NFL. If you don't count positions, he had Jerry Rice at his disposal. And so a lot of people say, how could he be the greatest of all time if he was probably the second best player on his team during his dynasty run? A lot of people say with Joe Montana, he was blessed by having the greatest football player of all time. However, that isn't even factual. Before he was drafted, when the only player really of name and importance that was a part of the 49ers organization truly was Ronnie Lott, and he was a rookie when Joe Montana won his first Super Bowl. His second best player on offense, at least, was Dwight Clark. Considering the fact that Joe Montana had already won 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs without Jerry Rice. Tom Brady, certified great, 100%, love him. I love to see greatness be great. Tom Brady let me down, and it was actually en route to winning his 5th Super Bowl, which overtook Joe Montana in total Super Bowl victories. I actually had Tom Brady ahead of Joe Montana before his 5th Super Bowl against Atlanta. Ahead of Joe Montana, he slipped back below Joe Montana. But I'm going to tell you why. Compare Joe Montana, who was, I believe it was 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the Super Bowl. I should have that number looked up. I should know that off the top of my head already anyways. But I want to say 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions through 4 Super Bowls. Could be right. Could be like one more or one less, I think. But the whole point is, that's ridiculous. Tom Brady, something more along the lines of 14 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in his 8 Super Bowl appearances. Very mediocre quarterbacking when you consider it's on the highest possible stage. I'm not just looking at raw numbers. Do you guys remember in that Super Bowl against Atlanta when Tom Brady threw the most hideous, ugliest, terrible pick six of all time? Yeah, threw it right to the belly of the freaking, about the linebacker or the safety coming across. I don't care who it was. When I saw that throw go down, I knew right in that very moment, Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback of all time. He had the decision-making skills to put his team in position to where they never had to worry about coming from behind based on his throw, his actions. Joe Montana never put your team in that situation. Tom Brady is the king of comebacks. Joe Montana never put you in situations where you had to come back. I was a boxer and I had 50 fights. We choose to knock people out in 3 rounds. Nobody wants to outsmart you. Nobody wants to Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope you. Nobody does. Nobody is going to sign up for that. I will say, give me the prime Mike Tyson fights where 2-3 rounds in, I'm done, and everyone knows what it is. That's what you're going to get when you get Joe Montana. You're not going to get that with Tom Brady. Fighting through adversity is a great thing, but I don't give you extra points for that. I award you for the production that you put forth, and not failing early and then continually playing great all the way throughout is better than failing early and then coming back from your own failures. Why would you choose failing over not failing? Even if you can come back from your own failure, why would you choose to fail? Nobody would do that in their own practical life. No, let me get fired from a job first and then do another job instead of just being able to be hired on and grow naturally with a job and be comfortable. No. So the whole point comes down to why I believe it's definitive and why my theory stands is just Joe Montana never made the big mistake in the big game. Whether it be Super Bowl, NFC Championship game, I can't recall through all of my research a time where he was responsible for his team not just losing, being put into a situation where they should have lost because of his action. Tom Brady, I can count quite a few of those situations. Joe Montana never faltered. He's the GOAT.
Let's just be honest. Let's just be real.